Unpacking taps into something pretty much everyone can relate to: moving home. The most impressive thing about Humble's new game is the way it tells a story through objects rather than any text. The things we take with us or leave behind when we move say a lot about who we are, and to quote 20th century poet Philip Larkin, how we live measures our own nature. Over the course of 8 chapters, each representing a stage in an unknown person's life, you're tasked with unpacking boxes. It all starts with a childhood bedroom, but later chapters focus on adulthood and the complexities that come with relationships. In each room or house, you click on boxes to remove objects, and then you find a place for them in the room. I never tired of seeing the things I picked up out of the boxes, and the random nature of it all. True to life, sometimes things get mixed up. You might well find a shoe in amongst the kitchenware, or a sock in a box of books. You decorate walls, organise shelves, put clothes away, fill cupboards, and more. In fact, Unpacking is probably a great game to inspire a tidy up. It's certainly one that the super organised will love. The player has considerable flexibility over how to furnish each room, which does add a personal touch and makes you more invested in the protagonist's story. It would be reductive to simply label Unpacking as a point and click or puzzle game, as it is so much more. In fact, I don't think I've played anything quite like it. It's a relaxing and meditative experience. The pixel art graphics are lovely, and the soundtrack subtle yet suitably ambient. Unpacking's out now on the PC, the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One, and it's available to play for free for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. Super Mombo Quest features the most unlikely of heroes, a purple gooey creature with a big tongue tasked with saving the world from the King of Nightmares. Wrapped in some of the most vibrant pixel art of the year, Mombo's Quest is a precision platformer with Metroidvania elements. The game takes inspiration from modern indie classics such as Super Meat Boy and Shovel Knight, as well as 90s platformers from the SNES and Sega Genesis era. Mombo himself looks a lot like a mashup of Meat Boy and Kirby. Gameplay is super smooth, with Mombo controlling like a dream. He can double jump, ground slam, wall jump and bounce on enemies. Each room has its own challenges or objectives, the most common being to collect all the diamonds and complete a Mombo combo. The latter is particularly unique and adds a fun urgency to each area. You have a combo meter, which slowly depletes. Collecting gems boosts your meter, as does bouncing on enemies. Your aim is to navigate each room without letting your combo bar run out. Other rooms feature collectible gold coins, caged villagers that need rescuing, and there's challenge rooms as well, where you're faced with waves of enemies. Super Mombo's Quest marries the precision platforming and Metroidvania genres perfectly. It ticks all my boxes. There's new abilities to discover, which change the colour of Mombo, secret areas, plenty of collectibles, a hub world with shops, and huge bosses to battle at the end of each area. The story is silly, but all the better for it. None of the characters can quite believe that Mombo is the prophesized hero, and this leads to some comical interactions. I liked Super Mombo's Quest when I played the demo earlier in the year. Now that I've finally got my hands on the full game, well, I love it. If you want a slick platformer with light Metroidvania elements, you really need to pick this one up now. It's such a happy, feel-good game. Grab it on the Nintendo Switch, the PC, mobile platforms, with other console ports due soon.
The demon world is inhabited by all kinds of nasties, separated into turfs and their gang leaders. None stand a chance to the Demon King himself. I say it's time to kick his sorry butt out of here!
Demon Turf is a charming 3D platformer inspired by N64 greats such as Banjo-Kazooie and Super Mario 64. The art style of this one is striking, with 2D characters existing in a 3D world. You play as a rebellious demon girl called Beebs, who wants to unite all the turfs, or gangs, in the demon world under her rule and dethrone the tyrannical Demon King. Beebs is not like your typical platforming mascots. She's a subversive, tough, sassy demon intent on wreaking havoc. The level design features all the hallmarks you'd expect with a great 3D platformer. There's several biomes, each with a hub area featuring portals to self-contained levels. Your main aim is to collect enough batteries from each world to challenge the turf boss. The levels are fun and feature precision platforming and occasional combat segments. Like the aforementioned games, Demon Turf is a collectathon with sweets and cakes hidden in levels. There is a huge amount of stuff to do here. It'll take at least 15 to 20 hours to complete the main quest, with far more required if you want to see everything the game has to offer. If you're a fan of 3D platformers, Demon Turf is an easy recommendation. Grab it now on the PC and all major consoles. Originally released on Apple Arcade, Where Cards Fall is a stylish puzzle adventure that revolves around manipulating packs of cards. The story is told through what appears to be flashbacks in between levels. It's a wordless tale with no dialogue or text, so it's all for the player to interpret, and perhaps relate to. The controls have been reworked for the new PC and Switch ports. The original iOS release was designed for touch screens. This new version features full keyboard and mouse as well as gamepad controls, and both work well and are pretty intuitive. The game is split into a series of 50 or so short isometric levels. You control the unnamed protagonist and the card stacks at the same time. The goal of each level is to get to the exit, which also doubles as a playing card. To get there, you have to stack, fold and spread cards to make platforms and bridges. The spatial puzzles are creative and get more complex as the game goes on, with new types of cards regularly introduced. If you're yet to experience this rather relaxing coming-of-age tale, and you don't subscribe to Apple Arcade, well, try it now on the PC or the Nintendo Switch. Tunche is a thing of beauty. Set in the Amazonian rainforest, you play as one of 5 characters, all very different and with their own unique movesets. Based on the screenshots I'd seen prior to playing the game, I was expecting Tunche to be a side-scrolling beat-em-up, similar say to Streets of Rage, but most stages are one-screen affairs where you face several waves of enemies. And like any roguelite, the game's been designed for you to learn from failure. It's all about mapping enemy attack patterns, knowing which move to attack with, and quickly defeating enemies that cause you the most problems. As a result, you'll get further with each run. Regardless of which character you choose, you'll have quite a number of moves at your disposal, with more unlockable through skill trees in the starting hub. The sheer range of moves and combos goes beyond most standard beat-em-ups. Unlocking a new move can really change the way you approach enemy encounters, and adds an extra string to your bow when it comes to keeping your combo meter high. I will say that the gameplay loop can get a little bit repetitive, with similar looking environments and a lack of enemy variety, but the combat always keeps things interesting. Check out Tunche now on PC and all major consoles. Also out this week is The Legend of Tianding, a side-scrolling beat-em-up with a colourful comic book aesthetic. Based on true events from early 1900s, the story focuses on legendary folk hero Liao Tianding, a sort of Taiwanese Robin Hood, who robs from the rich to give to the poor. Combat is slick, exciting and fast-paced. You have a range of moves at your disposal, from flying kicks to power punches, as well as a standard melee weapon, which can be upgraded. You also have a red sash that can be used to wrap up enemies, steal their weapons and throw them to the floor. With a game so steeped in Taiwanese and Japanese history, you may think things might get a little lost in translation. However, despite a few corny and anachronistic lines here and there, the English localization is really top-notch. With its great story, exhilarating combat, challenging boss fights, and some very creative level design, The Legend of Tianding is a beat-em-up, as well as a history lesson that shouldn't be missed. It's out now on the PC, and also the Nintendo Switch. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to I Love Indies, and also hit that like button. And why not leave a comment below on which of the featured indies most interest you? I really would love to hear from you. You can also follow me on Twitter for curated indies of the day and some super giveaways.
There's only one way to fix this. I need to put everything back the way it was.
And the great indies keep on coming with the physics-based platformer Time Loader. In this one, you take control of a quirky RC robot and manoeuvre your way around craftily designed levels, all in an effort to rewrite the past, save the future, and help your creator accept the present. It's out now on the PC, with console ports planned for the future.
That's Adam's cat. It looks much bigger now. We can tighten the screw, fixing the floorboard in place. Thankfully, the water is of no danger to us. A secret sign. 2020 beta timeline. What happened here? The attic looks weird. Something must have happened in this timeline.
Tragedy struck the Wright household late Tuesday night. The neighbors say the fire started in the attic, then spread to the rest of the house.
How could this have happened? Don't change anything? What's that supposed to mean?
That's it for now from me. I'll be back very soon with more indie gaming goodness. I'll leave you with a look at Conway, Disappearance at Dahlia View from White Paper Games, the developers of The Occupation and Ether 1. Until the next video, guys, keep loving indies.
Dad, you don't do this anymore. Leave it to us, please.
All I'd be doing is observing and talking to people.
Dad, I mean it. Don't get involved.
Okay, I promise. I'll leave the police work up to you. Do you mean to tell me that one of my neighbors has my girl? No, I'm merely saying that it's a logical place to start. You say you had to start making money elsewhere.
Harold Levy hadn't been paying me, so...
Mr. Levy?
Why not? He's up to something. You must have noticed all the strange deliveries coming and going at night.
Nah, I don't think so. I'd remember. So Shirley is lying. Shirley's, a little highly strung. Let's leave it at that.
You don't get it, do you? Your actions might have gotten Charlotte May killed.
What if it was you down there? Would you want me to stop? Follow the law? Someone needed to do what had to be done. No matter the cost.
There's always a cost. Isn't there, Dad?